Ugh, God. What is that smell?
Dana steps onto the marble.
I have a like to do.
I said turn around. Are you deaf? My name is on. Your name is nothing to me, honey. Look at you. Look at this floor. You don't belong on it.
Ma'am, if you just check.
Back door! Now! Crawl back to whatever project you came from.
I have a 9:30 meeting.
With who? The janitor? Out! You're stinking up my lobby. I am not breathing the same air as you.
Dana nods. Slow. She steps back. Dana says nothing. She waits. In 9 minutes, a man will sprint into this lobby screaming a sentence that empties every lung in it. And the receptionist will wish she had asked for a name. Rewind 90 minutes. The kitchen light is the color of weak tea. Dana Holloway stands at the counter in a navy blouse, hair pulled back, earrings simple. She pours coffee she will forget on the counter. She always does. Mom, my permission slip. Maya is 11 and already taller than the refrigerator handle. She is holding a crumpled paper and a half-zipped backpack. On the fridge, signed last night. You're the best. I know. Dana kisses the top of her head. The house smells like toast and the faint lavender of the hallway plug-in. Outside, a neighbor's sprinkler ticks against the driveway. She drops Maya at the carpool corner at 7:40. She does not wave long. Maya does not like long waves. At her desk by 8:15, third floor of the Charlotte Municipal Building, West Wing, a glass office with a view of a parking deck. The nameplate on her door reads, Dana Holloway, Director, Infrastructure Procurement. Under it, smaller, Office of the City Manager. She does not look at it. She has stopped looking at it. On her desk, a navy folder sits square to the edge. Water bid. Final review. Inside, $180 million of municipal work and a single signature line waiting for her hand. 6 firms bid. 5 were cut in the first round. 1 remains. Ridgeline Partners. She has never met them. She has read them. She knows the shape of their proposals the way a mechanic knows the sound of a bad bearing. Her assistant taps the door frame, gentle, twice. 9:30 still on? Still on. Want me to call ahead? No, let them do it properly. He nods and leaves. Dana opens the folder one more time. A line of print near the back catches her eye. Minority Subcontractor Utilization Report, Appendix C. She scans it. Names of small firms, addresses, percentages. Her eyes stop on one line. Holloway Civic, LLC, 2113 Pemberton Road. Pemberton Road. That was her address. 6 years ago. Before Maya's school district. Before Dana ever ran a consultancy under any name at all. She has never registered a company called Holloway Civic. She has never invoiced Ridgeline Partners for anything. She has never invoiced anyone. She stares at the line for a long moment. A small, cold place opens behind her sternum. Then she closes the folder. She has a meeting in 45 minutes. She will ask about it in the room. She picks up her coat. Charcoal wool, plain buttons. The city badge on a black lanyard. She tucks it inside her collar without thinking. Habit. She does not wear it in corporate lobbies. It feels like leading with a fist. She takes the stairs. She always takes the stairs. Out on Tryon Street, late autumn. The light is thin and gray. A bus hisses at a stop. 2 men argue politely about a sports score. A leaf blower starts up somewhere 3 blocks away and then stops, as if unsure. She walks the 4 blocks to Ridgeline's tower. Glass, limestone, a revolving door that moves like it is thinking. She does not rehearse. She does not need to. She has read every page in the folder. She has signed nothing yet. That matters. At 9:28, she steps into the lobby. Cold marble. A tall glass cylinder of lilies on the counter. An HVAC vent humming like a held breath. A receptionist behind the desk. Blonde ponytail, pearl studs. A mouth already curling before Dana's second foot crosses the threshold. Dana's city badge is still tucked inside her collar. The navy folder is still under her arm. The address on Pemberton Road is still sitting in Appendix C, waiting to be asked about. She has no idea the receptionist has already decided she is not a person this lobby will recognize. Hey, where do you think you're going? Dana stops 3 steps in. The marble throws back the click of her heels and then swallows it. Good morning. I have a 9:30 with... No, you don't. The receptionist does not stand. She leans back in her chair, arms crossed, a small private smile on her face, like she has just won a bet with herself. Turn around. Back doors on 5th. Deliveries, cleaning, whatever you are. 5th. My name is on the calendar. Your name. A short, dry laugh. Sweetie, I am the calendar. I would know. Dana slides the navy folder under her left arm. She keeps her right hand open at her side. She does not step forward. She does not step back. Could you check for Holloway, 9:30, with Mr. Whitlock? Mr. Whitlock. The receptionist repeats the name like Dana has mispronounced a country. Honey, Gregory Whitlock does not take meetings with people who walk in smelling like a bus stop. A courier near the revolving door lowers his phone. He does not look up, but he stops scrolling. I haven't been on a bus. Then I don't know what that is on your coat. Let's not find out. Dana breathes in once, slowly. The lily smell is thicker near the desk, almost medicinal. If you could just check the 9:30. I said, out. An intern, maybe 22, crosses the lobby with a stack of printouts. She slows when she hears the tone. She does not slow enough to stop. A young accountant in a cheap blazer steps out of the elevator, sees the scene, and finds a very interesting place on the floor to look. The receptionist leans forward now. Her voice drops into something quieter and meaner. The voice people use when they think they are being reasonable. Look, I don't know who told you to come here. I don't know what you thought was going to happen. But this is a 7-figure floor. The partners do not meet with walk-ins. They do not meet with applicants. They do not meet with people who look like they wandered off a job site. I'm not an applicant. Then what are you, sweetheart? Because I'm looking at you and I'm not seeing a client. Dana's jaw tightens once. Only once. Then it releases. I'd like to speak with your manager. Oh, my manager. The receptionist laughs. Girl, I am the manager of this desk. And my manager doesn't come down to the lobby for this. He really doesn't. She picks up the phone. She does not dial. She holds it like a threat. Last chance, 5th Street. Or I call building security and they walk you out. Your choice. Don't make it hard. Dana looks at the phone. She looks at the receptionist. She looks at the directory board on the wall behind the desk, where a line of firm names and suite numbers is listed in brushed steel letters. The third name from the top, in smaller type. Holloway Civic, LLC, Suite 1840. Suite 1840. Ridgeline's floor. The cold place behind her sternum opens a little wider. She does not point at it. She does not say anything about it. Yet she steps back. She steps back again. She stops at the edge of the revolving door where the lobby ends and the sidewalk begins, and she stands there with the navy folder under her arm and the city badge still tucked inside her collar. I'll wait. Wait outside. I'll wait outside. The receptionist rolls her eyes so hard her whole head moves with it. She puts the phone down. She picks up her own, the private one, and begins to type. On her screen, a message to a coworker 2 floors up. Another one trying to sneak in. LOL. The things I deal with. At 9:33, the elevator chimes on the top floor. A door opens. A man with silver at his temples looks at his watch and does not see what he expects to see. At 9:34, his assistant puts a call through to the front desk that the receptionist does not answer, because she is still typing. At 9:36, the same assistant tries the lobby security line. At 9:38, a door somewhere high in the building slams hard enough that the receptionist's pearl earrings tick once against her jaw. She does not know what that sound means yet. Dana does. She turns her face half a degree toward the elevator bank, and she waits. At 9:39, the elevator bank chimes 3 times in a row. The receptionist looks up, annoyed. She has not finished her message. The middle door opens. Gregory Whitlock steps out first, 57, silver at the temples, a tailored navy suit, no tie. Behind him, his assistant, a tall young woman with a headset still clipped to her ear, jogging to keep up. He is not walking. He is not jogging. He is doing the thing executives do when they are almost running but refuse to admit it. Brooke! Brooke! The receptionist looks up. Oh, hi, Mr. Whitlock. Where is she? Where is who? He stops at the desk. He does not yell yet. His voice is worse than yelling. It is the voice of a man doing math very fast in his head and not liking any of the answers. The 9:30, Holloway. Where is she? Oh, her! Brooke laughs, short. I sent her to the back door. She didn't have an appointment. She just walked in looking like... What? The lobby hears it before Brooke does. 2 words. Flat. The HVAC hum seems to stop. She didn't have an appointment, sir. I checked. You checked? I mean, I looked at her and she clearly... Whitlock turns his head toward the revolving door. He sees Dana standing on the sidewalk, navy folder under her arm, looking at nothing in particular. A sound comes out of him that is not quite a word. He moves. Past the desk. Past the lilies. Past the intern who is frozen with her printouts against her chest. The revolving door spits him out onto the sidewalk in a half stumble, and the assistant is still 6 steps behind. Miss Holloway! Miss Holloway, please! Dana turns, slow, composed. Mr. Whitlock? I am so sorry. There has been a misunderstanding. Please, come in, please. Your receptionist was very clear. She was wrong. She was wrong, please. He holds the door for her with his own hand. The revolving door, which had been moving as if it were thinking, now moves as if it has made up its mind. Dana steps back into the lobby. Whitlock walks 1 pace behind her, not in front. That detail lands on the courier, on the intern, on the young accountant still finding the floor fascinating. They notice. they will remember. Brooke stands up. Finally. Too late. Mr. Whitlock, I can explain. Stop talking. 2 words, not shouted, placed. Brooke stops talking. Whitlock turns to Dana. His voice drops into a practiced softness. Miss Holloway, the partners are waiting in the 18th floor conference room. Coffee, water, whatever you'd like. Please, after you. In a moment. She does not move toward the elevator. She stands in the middle of the lobby, folder under her arm, and she looks, for the first time, directly at Brooke. Brooke's mouth opens, closes. I'd like to understand something first, Dana says. Her voice is the same voice from 3 minutes ago. Low, even. When I walked in at 9:28, you told me the back door was on 5th. You told me I smelled like a bus stop. You told me this was a 7-figure floor. Brooke's face has gone the color of the marble. You told me the partners do not meet with people who look like me. A silence, the kind that has weight. I'd like to know who trained you to say that. Whitlock's jaw does something complicated. Ms. Holloway, I assure you, no one at this firm— I'm not asking you, Mr. Whitlock. She is still looking at Brooke. Who told you to screen visitors that way? Brooke opens her mouth. She looks for half a second toward the elevator bank, toward the hallway that leads to the partners' wing. It is a small glance. It is an involuntary glance. Dana sees it. Whitlock sees Dana see it. It's just protocol, Brooke says. Standard visitor protocol. I was trained to. By whom? I can't. By whom, Miss Sutterfield? Brooke's name on Dana's tongue lands like a key turning. Brooke blinks. She does not remember introducing herself. Whitlock steps between them. Not hard. Smooth. A man accustomed to placing himself between things. Miss Holloway, please. Upstairs. Let us handle personnel matters internally. I give you my word. Please. Dana lets 3 seconds pass. She says, all right. She walks to the elevator. Whitlock walks 1 pace behind her. His assistant walks 2 paces behind him, and her headset is still live. And somewhere above the ceiling, a partner on the 18th floor is hearing every word through the assistant's open mic and beginning to sweat through a very expensive shirt. The elevator doors close on Brooke's face. Brooke sits back down. Her hands do not work the way she wants them to. She reaches for her private phone. The screen is still open to her unfinished message. Another one trying to sneak in, lol. She stares at it. Then she looks up at the directory board behind her desk, at the brushed steel letters, at the third name from the top. Holloway Civic, LLC, Suite 1840. And the cold place that has been sitting behind Dana Holloway's sternum all morning. That cold place just found a new home. The 18th floor smells like new carpet and old money. 3 partners are already standing when the doors open. Gregory Whitlock leads. Behind him, Marianne Beaufort, 61, pearl gray suit, a smile that has been rehearsed since she was 20. Beside her, a younger partner, whose name Dana does not bother to remember. Miss Holloway, a pleasure, truly. Beaufort extends a hand. Dana takes it once, briefly. Please, sit. Coffee? Water? Water. A glass arrives before the word finishes. Dana does not sit. She places the navy folder on the long walnut table. She rests one hand on it, flat. Before we begin, I'd like a stenographer in the room. Buford's smile stays where it is. Her eyes adjust. A stenographer? Yes. Ms. Holloway, this is a preliminary. My office requires a record on all final round contacts. It's standard. It is not standard. Buford knows it is not standard. Buford does not say so. Of course, of course. Give us 5 minutes. A call is made. A paralegal appears. A small recorder is placed on the table beside a steno pad, and a woman in a cardigan sits down and begins to type before she is introduced. Dana opens the Navy folder. She does not open it to the first page. She opens it to Appendix C. Before we discuss the water bid, I'd like to clarify one line in your utilization report. The younger partner leans forward. Of course. Holloway Civic LLC, Pemberton Road. A silence. Beaufort smiled as a small thing at one corner. I'd need to check with procurement. I'll save you the call. I've never formed a company by that name. I've never invoiced your firm. The address is a house I sold 6 years ago. Whitlock's hand tightens on the back of a chair. That must be a clerical. It's on the federal filing, Mr. Whitlock. A clerical error does not sign an IRS form. She lets that sit. The steno keys click quietly, the only sound in the room. Now, the water bid. She turns to the first page. I am Dana Holloway. I am the Director of Infrastructure Procurement for the City of Charlotte. I am the sole signing authority on the municipal water infrastructure package currently before your firm. $180 million. Buford's smile is gone. The bid was scheduled to be signed this morning at 10. Whitlock's face has moved through 3 colors. It will not be signed this morning. Her hand stays flat on the folder. I am placing the Ridgeline bid under administrative hold, effective now. I am opening an inquiry into Appendix C. I am requesting the visitor logs, the badge scan records, and the front desk training materials for the last 18 months. The younger partner starts to speak. Buford puts 2 fingers on his wrist. Miss Holloway, we will, of course, cooperate with any inquiry, but I would like to say, for the record, that the incident downstairs does not reflect. The incident downstairs is not the inquiry, Miss Beaufort. A pause. The incident downstairs is how I found it. She closes the folder. You have until Friday to produce the documents listed in this request. My office will be in touch. She slides a single sheet across the walnut. Then she stands. She walks to the door. Whitlock walks 1 pace behind her again. He does not try to speak. At the elevator, Dana turns her head half a degree. Mr. Whitlock? Yes? Your receptionist knew my name by the end of our conversation downstairs. I did not give it to her. A beat. You might ask her how. The doors close on 3 ashen faces. 18 floors below, in the lobby, Brooke Sutterfield is still staring at the directory board. And upstairs, Marianne Beaufort is already reaching for the phone that does not go through the switchboard. The first call Dana makes is not to a lawyer. It is to Colette Marsden. They met 4 years ago at a council hearing on storm drains. Colette was the only reporter in the room who stayed past the second hour. They have traded coffees, not favors. That matters today. Colette, I need to talk. Not for print. Not yet. Where? The diner on 7th, 30 minutes. I'll be there in 20. Colette is 44, regional investigative newsroom, former City Hall stringer, a woman who carries 3 notebooks because she does not trust her phone. She is already in a booth when Dana arrives, a black coffee cooling in front of her. Dana sits. She slides the navy folder across the table. Appendix C. Colette reads. Her face does not move. Her face almost never moves. Pemberton Road was yours. 6 years ago. And you never formed Holloway Civic? No. Colette closes the folder. She taps it once with her pen. This is not a receptionist problem. No. This is a vendor fraud problem. Yes. How long do you have? The bid is on hold. I have 30 days before the council asks why. Then we have 30 days. Colette opens the first of her 3 notebooks. The first FOIA request goes out that afternoon. City procurement, 5 years of minority vendor filings involving Ridgeline Partners. The second goes to the Secretary of State. Every LLC registered at 2113 Pemberton Road. The third, quieter, goes to a source at the county recorder's office who owes Colette nothing and likes her anyway. By Thursday, the first tranche comes back. Holloway Civic LLC was registered 3 years and 4 months ago. The registered agent is a paralegal service in a strip mall in Matthews. The mailing address is a P.O. box. The principal officer listed on the formation documents is a name Dana has never heard. The name is Dana R. Holloway. Dana's middle initial is M. They didn't even get it right, Colette says on the phone at 9 at night. They didn't need to. Nobody was ever going to check. Until you walked into a lobby. Until I walked into a lobby. The second tranche arrives on Monday. Internal Ridgeline emails, produced under a routine procurement compliance disclosure rule Dana's office invoked the morning after the meeting. Ridgeline's counsel did not fight it. Ridgeline's counsel did not know yet what was in it. Colette reads them in the newsroom. She reads them 3 times. One thread, subject line, lobby protocol, refresh, dated 14 months earlier. Sent from a partner's assistant to the reception desk. Please remember, directory board visible from desk. Walk-ins who appear to be reviewing the board should be redirected to side entrance. Applies especially to unscheduled visitors. Use discretion. Discretion. A polite word for a filthy instruction. A reply from Brooke Sutterfield. Got it. Handled this morning, actually. Another one was eyeing the directory. Sent her out. The thread is not about race. It does not need to be. It is about the board. The board lists Holloway Civic at Suite 1840, Ridgeline's own floor. Anyone who read it carefully would ask a question. Anyone who asked a question would pull a thread. The instruction is, don't let them read it carefully. The third tranche is the money. Colette's source at the recorder's office does not speak on the phone. She leaves a manila envelope in a diner booth at an agreed-upon time. Inside, 3 years of wire confirmations, routing slips, and memo lines. Holloway Civic LLC. Invoicing Ridgeline Partners. Quarterly. For civil engineering subcontractor services rendered. Amounts ranging from $38,000 to $240,000. Every invoice was paid within 4 days. Every payment routed to the same P.O. Box LLC in Mecklenburg County. Then out again to a second LLC in neighboring Union County. Then out again to a third account Colette cannot chase without a subpoena. Ridgeline booked the payments against their minority subcontractor quota. The quota is what makes them eligible to bid on public work at all. Without that quota, Ridgeline does not bid on the water package. Without that quota, Ridgeline does not bid on the transit package. Without that quota, Ridgeline does not bid on 17 of the last 22 contracts they have won from municipalities in 3 states. Dana looks at the spreadsheet Colette has built. She does not speak for a long time. "If this is real," she says finally, "they didn't just use my name." "No. They've been using my name to beat firms that actually exist. Firms run by actual people. For 3 years." "Yes." "While my house was being sold to a young couple who had nothing to do with any of it." "Yes." Colette closes the folder. "There's one more thing." "Go." 2 of those Union County wires. They bounce back out to a law firm. Small one, 3 partners, downtown. I pulled their client list. Ridgeline is not on it. But one of the firm's partners used to work at Ridgeline, left quietly about a year ago. Quietly? Very quietly. No announcement, no farewell memo. His office was cleared out over a long weekend, and his name was off the letterhead by Tuesday. Dana's water glass sits half empty between them. She does not reach for it. "Find me that man." "I'm working on it." "And Colette." "Yeah?" "If you've ever seen a paper trail like this, tell me now, in the comments if you have to. I want to know how common this is. I am starting to think I am not the first person whose address has been worn like a costume." Colette smiles, barely. It is the first smile either of them has managed in 10 days. "You want a comment section?" "From me?" "I want a comment section from anyone who has walked into a lobby and been asked to leave by it." She closes the navy folder. She slides it back to her side of the table. "Let's go back to the emails. I want to know who wrote the lobby protocol refresh." Colette flips a page. Whitlock's assistant sent it, but the draft came from an attached document. The metadata on that document shows an author. "Who?" "Mary Ann Beaufort." Dana does not react. She is very good at not reacting. "And," Colette adds, "the document was created 3 days after the Secretary of State stamped the formation papers on Holloway Civic." A silence. Outside the diner, a city bus hisses at the curb. A fluorescent light above the counter ticks once, like a metronome remembering the beat. 3 days, Dana says. 3 days. She looks at the wall. She looks at the time. She looks at the folder. Somewhere, in a tower 4 blocks from here, Mary Ann Beaufort is sitting in an office with a view of the river, reading a message on a phone that does not go through the switchboard. Somewhere, a former partner is drafting a letter he has not yet decided to send. Somewhere, a junior accountant named Tyler Brennan is standing in his kitchen at midnight, looking at a thumb drive he has not plugged in for 2 years. On the phone the next morning, Colette's voice is careful. "Dana, they know we pulled the wires." "How?" "Because I just got a letter, hand-delivered, cease and desist." "From Ridgeline's firm?" "No, from a firm we've never heard of." A beat. "But I've seen the address before." "Where?" "It's the same strip mall in Matthews." The cease and desist is 4 pages long. It is printed on paper heavy enough to make a sound when it lands. It accuses Colette Marsden of tortious interference, unauthorized access to proprietary records, and reckless disregard for the reputation of unnamed third parties. It demands the return of all documents knowingly obtained through improper channels within 72 hours. It is signed by a lawyer neither of them has heard of. The law firm's address is the same strip mall in Matthews where Holloway Civic LLC is registered. Colette reads it out loud in Dana's kitchen at 7 in the morning while Maya is still upstairs brushing her teeth.
They use their own paper firm to send me a threat. They're not thinking clearly. They're thinking fine. They just don't have many pens.
Dana pours a second cup of coffee she will also forget on the counter.
Are you going to comply? I am going to file it with my editor and my lawyer and my priest, in that order. Then I am going to keep working. Good.
At 9:10, Dana's assistant calls her on the cell. He does not use the office line. Director, the Beaumont Street Stormwater Project. What about it? It's been paused. The city manager's office issued the hold this morning. The request came from outside. An email from a law firm. Let me guess the address. Matthews. Dana sits down at the kitchen table. The Beaumont Street project is one of hers. She fought for it for 2 years. It is a neighborhood flood control line in a zip code that has been asking for one since before Maya was born. Thank you. Send me the memo. Do not forward it to anyone else yet. She hangs up. She looks at Colette. They are not threatening me with lawsuits. They are threatening me with neighborhoods. Colette's jaw tightens. She does not say anything. There is nothing to say. At 11 that morning, Dana's direct line rings. Ridgeline Partners, LLP. She lets it ring twice. Miss Holloway, Marianne Beaufort. Miss Beaufort? I am calling in the spirit of resolution. What happened in our lobby was unconscionable. The employee has been placed on leave. We would like to make this right. How? We would like to propose a voluntary withdrawal of our bid on the water package. In exchange, we would ask that any inquiry into Appendix C be redirected to our internal compliance team, where it belongs. Dana does not speak for 4 seconds. Ms. Beaufort, you are asking me to close an active fraud inquiry in exchange for your firm withdrawing from a bid you are about to lose. I would not characterize it that way. I would. Another pause. This one is Beaufort's, Ms. Holloway. There are many ways this can unfold. Some of them are painful for people who have done nothing wrong. Firms that employ a great many people. Firms that, if a story were to run the wrong way, might find their contracts reviewed. Is that a threat? It is a description of the weather. Ms. Beaufort, for the record, and for the file I am keeping on this call, I am ending this conversation now. She hangs up. Her hand does not shake. She notices this. She files it away. At 3 in the afternoon, a Charlotte Observer reporter calls Colette to ask about a tip. The tip claims that a senior city official has been steering bids to a shell company bearing her own name. Colette's voice goes flat. Who gave you that tip? Anonymous. Pull the string on the anonymous. You are going to find a strip mall. She hangs up and calls Dana. They are trying to flip the story. I know. They are going to say you ran the shell. I know. Dana, this is the part where people lose their jobs, even when they win. I know. At 11:43 that night, Dana sits at her kitchen table with the lights off. Maya is asleep upstairs. The house smells like the lavender plug-in and the faint char of a pan she forgot to wash. On the table, a voicemail transcript from her deputy. The Beaumont Street project is paused indefinitely. The neighborhood association is asking, through a polite letter, whether the new director will be someone who will still take their calls. A new director. She reads the sentence twice. Outside, a dog barks, once, and stops. Under her front door, something slides across the tile. Paper, an envelope, thin. She does not get up right away. She sits in the dark for a long time. The envelope is unsealed. Inside, a single sheet. No letterhead, no signature. Drop it, or your daughter's school will get a phone call by Monday. We know which one. Dana reads it once. She reads it twice. She folds it along the existing crease. She puts it on the kitchen table, square to the edge, the way she puts every folder on every desk she has ever worked at. Then she sits, and she does not move for a long time. The refrigerator hums. The hallway plug-in ticks out its thin breath of lavender. A car passes on the street outside, slows at the stop sign, moves on. Upstairs, a floorboard creaks. Maya's bare feet on the landing. "Mom?" Dana looks up. She slides the paper under a placemat without seeming to slide it. "Couldn't sleep? I had a dream about school. Come here." Maya pads down the stairs, pajamas 2 inches too short at the wrists. She climbs into the chair next to her mother and puts her head on Dana's shoulder like she is 6 again. "Mom? Are we going to have to move?" Dana does not answer right away. "Why would we have to move, baby? I heard you on the phone. You said a new director. You said it twice." Dana closes her eyes. "No one is moving." "Okay." "No one." "Okay." Maya does not move. She smells like kid shampoo and sleep. "Mom? Did someone do something bad to you?" Dana breathes in, breathes out. "Someone tried." "Did they win?" "Not yet." "Are you going to let them?" A long silence. "No." "Okay." Maya kisses her mother's shoulder, vaguely, the way a tired child kisses anything nearby. She goes back up the stairs. The floorboard on the landing creaks once more. Then silence. Dana sits alone. She takes the paper back out from under the placemat. She reads it a third time. She is looking for the part of herself that is supposed to be afraid, and she finds it, exactly where it has always been. And she discovers something she did not know until tonight. It is smaller than her daughter. She picks up her phone. "Colette, it's 1 a.m. "I know. What happened?" "An envelope. Under my door. They are named Maya." A long, cold pause on the other end of the line. "Photograph it. Don't touch it with clean hands again. I'll be there in 20. "Colette." "Yeah?" "I was going to tell you to stop." "I know you were." "I'm not going to." "I know." She hangs up. If you are listening to this right now, and you have ever been in the chair Dana is sitting in, the kitchen chair at 1 a.m. with a thin piece of paper on the table and a child asleep upstairs, tell me about it. Not the worst of it, just the hour you decided you were not going to fold. I want to know what you told yourself. Dana stands up. She washes the pan she forgot to wash. She dries it. She puts it away. She does not cry. She has not cried all week. She suspects she will cry later, when the story is over and there is time for it. But tonight there is not time. She turns off the kitchen light. She goes upstairs. She stands in Maya's doorway for a full minute without going in. Then she goes to her own bedroom, sits on the edge of the bed in the dark, and opens her laptop. She types one line into a blank document. "Find me the partner who left." She sends it to Colette. 3 minutes later, Colette's reply arrives. "Already found him. He wants to talk. His name is Peter Ashford. He is 51. He was a named partner at Ridgeline for 11 years. He left in October of last year on a Friday and was off the letterhead by Tuesday." Colette finds him in a 2-room law office above a bakery in Davidson, 30 minutes north of the city. He opens the door himself. "Miss Holloway, Miss Marsden, come in. I've been waiting for this meeting for 1 year and 2 months." The office smells like bread and warm paper. A single plant, a ficus, is doing well in the window. He sits them down. He pours water. He does not offer coffee because he does not drink it anymore. "I filed a complaint with the State Ethics Office last September. Sealed. I was told it would be reviewed within 90 days. I am still waiting." "Why sealed?" Dana asks. "Because I was still at the firm when I filed it, and because I wanted the dates locked in before anyone could say I made them up later." "What dates?" He opens a drawer. He takes out a manila folder. He slides it across the desk. "These ones." Inside, a timeline, handwritten, of Holloway Civic LLC. Formation, first invoice, quarterly payments. Every date Dana and Colette have spent 3 weeks reconstructing, already reconstructed, signed and witnessed by a notary 14 months ago. Colette whistles once, low, before she can stop herself. "Why didn't you go to the press?" "I am a lawyer. I went to the regulators. That was the mistake. I will not make it twice." He looks at Dana. "I understand your name is on the shell." "Yes." "I tried to have it removed before I left. I was told the paperwork was in process. That was the week my key card stopped working." He does not sound bitter. He sounds tired. "There are 2 other women who called the firm that year, before you. They asked about opportunities. They were told the firm was not hiring. They were told on the sidewalk by a receptionist at the revolving door. They did not get names." "Do you have theirs?" "Yes. They have signed declarations. They are ready to file them when you are." Dana takes the folder in both hands. She does not speak for a moment. Outside, a bakery bell rings, muffled through the floor. Someone downstairs laughs at a joke they have heard before. "Mr. Ashford, why now?" "Because they used a child in a threat. I heard about it this morning. I have a granddaughter." Colette's pen stops moving. "Who told you?" "A junior accountant, name of Brennan. He called me at 6:30. He has been holding a backup drive for 2 years. He would like to stop holding it." At noon the next day, in a different diner on a different street, Tyler Brennan sits across from Dana with a small silver thumb drive in the center of the table. His hands are not steady. He has not eaten. "I copied it the week I was hired. Everyone told me I was being paranoid." "You were not being paranoid." "No, I was being slow." Dana picks up the drive. She holds it in her palm for a moment, light as a nothing, heavy as a door. The drive holds 11 gigabytes. Colette's tech editor copies it 3 times before anyone opens a single file. One copy goes into a newsroom safe. One goes to Peter Ashford's office. One goes to a forensic accountant in Raleigh who has agreed to work nights for a week on a handshake. By Thursday morning, the accountant calls. "Ms. Marsden, your shell company paid a second shell company. That second shell paid a third. The third paid a law firm. The law firm paid a political action committee. Go on. The PAC made 2 maximum contributions last cycle. One to a sitting county commissioner, one to a state senator who sits on the infrastructure committee. Colette writes it down in her second notebook. The first one is full. How clean is the trail? It is not clean. It is a straight line drawn with a ruler. At 2 in the afternoon, the State Ethics Office unseals Peter Ashford's complaint. They do not unseal it because they want to. They unseal it because the City Council, acting on a request from the Director of Infrastructure Procurement, has issued a formal subpoena naming the file by date and docket number. The subpoena was filed at 9:06 that morning. Dana signed it herself. The complaint lands in Colette's inbox at 2:11. The wire dates in Ashford's sealed filing match Colette's reconstruction to the day. Not the month, not the week, the day. 3 independent sources, none of whom knew the other existed until this Tuesday, have produced the same calendar. Colette prints it. She tapes the 3 columns side by side on the newsroom wall. She stands in front of them with her arms crossed for a full minute. We have them. We have them. At 4 that afternoon, Dana's assistant calls. His voice is careful in a new way. Director, the front desk at Ridgeline is asking to speak with you. The front desk. Brooke Sutterfield. She says she will only talk to you. She says she wants to testify. A pause. She says she was trained. She says she has the messages. Dana leans back in her chair. Put her through. The voice in the line is not the voice from the lobby. It is smaller. It is tired. It has been crying and is trying not to. Miss Holloway, I know you don't owe me this call. I don't. I was told what to do. I have the texts from Ms. Beaufort's assistant. She told me what kinds of visitors to send out the side door. She used the word types. I kept them. I don't know why I kept them. I think I knew. Will you testify under oath? Yes, before anyone offers me a deal, before anyone tells me not to. Be at the council chamber on Tuesday at 1:30. Bring the phone. Bring the SIM card. Bring a lawyer if you have one. If you don't, I will have a name for you by tonight. Miss Holloway. Yes? I'm sorry. Tuesday, Miss Sutterfield, 1:30. She hangs up. She looks at Colette across the desk. They built the wall out of her, and now she is the first brick to fall out of it. Colette closes the notebook. Council hearing is in 5 days. 5 days. Outside the office window, the late sun turns the glass of the Ridgeline Tower a color that is almost, but not quite, the color of a closing door. Tuesday, 1:30. The chamber is full. The room smells like a cold radiator and old varnish. A microphone at the witness table hums faintly. Above the dais, a brass seal the size of a dinner plate throws back the overhead light. Chair Harold Easton calls the roll. The clerk answers. The room settles. Gregory Whitlock is sworn first. He wears the same navy suit. The knot of his tie is a 1/4 inch off. Mr. Whitlock, are you familiar with a company called Holloway Civic LLC? I am aware of the name. When did you first become aware of it? This past month, during the director's inquiry. Easton lets the silence sit. Mr. Whitlock, the firm's visitor protocol refresh, dated 14 months ago, was drafted by your senior partner. You were copied. Do you recall receiving it? I receive a great deal of correspondence. Yes or no, Mr. Whitlock? I do not specifically recall. Brooke Sutterfield is sworn second. She does not look at him as she passes. She takes the seat. Her hands are folded in her lap. Her lawyer sits behind her. Ms. Sutterfield, on the morning of the incident, what time did you first see Ms. Holloway in the lobby? 9:28. Not later? No, sir. 9:28. I logged it on my desk terminal. The system timestamps every badge interaction I override. You overrode a badge? I overrode hers. At 9:34, I marked her as a walk-in refusal.
Mr. Whitlock testified a moment ago that Miss Holloway arrived late.
He was wrong, sir. A sound moves through the chamber that is not a word. Ms. Sutterfield, were you trained to screen lobby visitors by appearance?
Yes.
By whom?
By a document sent from Miss Beaufort's office. I can produce the email. I have the full thread on my personal phone. I have already given it to counsel.
Whitlock's jaw moves once. He does not look at Beaufort. He does not have to. Ridgeline's outside counsel, a silver-haired man in a gray suit, rises briefly. For the record, my clients deny any coordinated scheme. Ms. Sutterfield's characterization of internal training is disputed and will be addressed in the appropriate forum. Easton nods once. So noted. Dana is called last. She walks to the table the way she walks into every room, unhurried. The navy folder under her arm. She sits. She opens it. She does not look at notes. Chair, members, I will be brief. She names the dates. She names the wires. She names the 3 independent reconstructions, the forensic accountant's, Mr. Ashford's sealed complaint, Ms. Marsden's FOIA trail. And she notes, for the record, that all 3 produced the same calendar to the day. She does not raise her voice. She does not accuse. She recites. When she finishes, she folds her hands on the folder and waits. Easton looks down the dais. A vote is called. 6-1. Ridgeline Partners LLP is barred from bidding on any public contract in the city of Charlotte, effective immediately. The wires are referred to the district attorney. The sealed complaint is referred to the state ethics office for full review. The gavel lands once. Outside the chamber, in the marble corridor, a quiet man in a charcoal coat steps into Dana's path. He hands her a business card. 2 words. Restructuring counsel. He does not say anything else. He does not need to. 90 days. Whitlock is indicted on 9 counts. Beaufort on 11. The state senator returns the PAC money on a Friday afternoon, the way people return things they hope no one noticed. Ridgeline's valuation collapses. Dana resigns from the city, in writing, 1 page. She cites a coming private venture and the need to avoid any appearance of conflict. The council accepts it with regret on the record. The restructuring fund closes in 40 days. The ownership filing, public record, lists 1 name, Dana M. Holloway. 4 months after the lobby, she walks through the revolving door again. The marble is the same. The lilies are gone. A plain arrangement of eucalyptus sits in their place. The directory board has been redone in matte black. The 3rd line from the top reads the name of a firm that does not exist anymore, above the name of a firm that does. The front desk is empty. A new receptionist looks up, smiles, says good morning by name.
The inner door opens as Dana approaches. It does not wait to be asked. She thinks of Maya. She thinks of the envelope on the kitchen table. She thinks of the sentence she wrote at 1 a.m. The company told her to use the back door. Now she owns the building. If you have ever been sent to the back door, like, subscribe, and tell me what you built instead. OMG. They told her to use the back door. She ended up owning the whole building. Nah, Fra. Never let anyone tell you where you belong. You decide that. And when they shut the front door, build your own door. Period.